Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon. Why all are very gloomy? Huh? Light smile. Can I expect on your face? Very good. Only Mahi Yadav shown me thumbs up. Okay, rest all maybe very sad, even without coffee or tea. Huh? Almost 3 o'clock. Okay, students, please stay some more time. So let us conclude the topic today, like fourth lesson. Okay, in the last session we have discussed about the previous classes we have discussed about climate of India. So in that climate and weather difference we have find, and after that factors influencing climate and weather. Many factors: latitude, attitude, the relationship between water and land, and relief, upper air circulation. So these topics we have discussed, and after that seasons. I'm discussing about all the very important topic which we covered, and you can expect in even in the examinations. And next seasons: winter, summer, advancing monsoon, and retreating monsoon. Advancing monsoon and retreating monsoon in the last session. The end of the session we have discussed. So advancing in the sense southwest monsoon, the arrival of monsoon we call advancing monsoon. Retreating monsoon, the withdrawal of monsoon. Especially withdrawal and arrival depends on the land and water contrast. Already you just remember that, like when high pressure forms in the sea or water body, the wind blow towards land area, and it brings monsoon or climatical changes on the land. Especially India receive rainfall from southwest monsoon. Already you have learned in the previous classes. Okay, after that retreating monsoon, the withdrawal of monsoon we have discussed in the last. And today we are going to discuss about global warming. Already that term is very familiar for you, global warming and greenhouse gas effects. Everything you have learned, let's just recall all those. Okay, so some more topic. And next is AGW and climate change. AGW, what is it, like what it mean? In the beginning I have told you what is the meaning of AGW. Anthropogenic global warming. What is the meaning of AGW? Let me ask you, Sharanya, please unmute. Okay, Sharanya, can you hear me?
Anthropogenic global warming.
What do you mean by anthropogenic?
Yes,
Yes. What do you mean by that, AGW?
means
What do you know? You please
weather
share.
and climate.
Weather and climate and AGW. What it mean? A simple one term or one word answer I want. Anthropogenic global warming. Yes, very simple. It's simple one word definition. You are absolutely correct what you say. Your attempt is good. Okay, so any more person, any more student? Very good, Sharanya. Any more student ready to tell me answer for that? AGW and climate change. What relation you find? Okay, Raghuvardhan. Raghuvardhan, what about you? Yes, Raghuvardhan.
Greenhouse gases are
Greenhouse gases.
greenhouse gases,
Ah, yes.
and
Greenhouse
it
gases.
is
Fine. Yes.
deforestation.
Yes.
Yes. Hello.
Tell me, Raghuvardhan, you are correct. Greenhouse
It
gases.
is becoming a deforestation of polluting of
Good,
factors.
Raghuvardhan. That's a good anthropogenic green, like global warming is, okay, so this all global warming in the sense increasing temperature in the atmosphere due to greenhouse gases. Already we know that, you already learned. Here anthropogenic global warming is nothing but the global warming which caused by human activities. By human activities, remember that. Okay, the clear definition of AGW is like anthropogenic global warming is the global warming which caused by human activity. Some of the human, especially this industrialization generally developing the country, we all know that, even though many effluents or the poisonous liquid wastage, the same way gases highly affect on our environment or our climate. And it also gives, and that is a concept here, AGW and a climate change. How AGW causes for climatical changes. Okay, we will discuss about that. And next, impact of climate change in India. What impact we have in our country and what are the problems we are facing. So that is the next concept. Okay, please all of you get ready with your running note and look at the screen. We will discuss all this topic today. Okay. So first is here, climate of India is the chapter. Okay, chapter 4. And here, the end of the session, we have discussed the arrival of southwest monsoon or arrival of rain or onset of rain, and the same way retreating monsoon or withdrawal of monsoon. These two pictures already you have in the two maps already you have in the concept. If you go through this, you will get clear idea. So generally, when it is withdrawal, here see 10th June. This is what you can understand from the first map. Onset of southwest monsoon. Onset of southwest monsoon. Actually, here mechanism already I have explained you clearly. When high pressure forms in the water bodies. High pressure forms in the water bodies, the wind blow towards the land area. Here we can see low pressure or low pressure area in the land, especially in the month of May. You already know that in the month of May, almost all the Indian states or almost the regions of India become hot. It means solar insolation is more. When solar insolation increases, that particular area, low pressure forms. So here, what happens here? High pressure in the water bodies. Mechanism is water heats up slowly and cools slowly. So here, many water vapors present in the atmosphere. Wind always blow from high pressure area to the low pressure area. So when the wind blow, it brings cloud to this particular area. Here, huge precipitation we can see. So we get a sufficient water. So that process we call onset of monsoon. The same time in the month of September, October, retreating monsoon or withdrawal of monsoon, rainy season or rains move back. The wind blow reverse. Okay, that we call retreating monsoon. Remember these 2 points, water and land contrast. Okay, so very, very important. If you know this mechanism clearly, you can write answer for any questions regarding this topic. So these all come under seasons: winter season, summer season, onset and retreating monsoon. Once again, winter, summer, onset and retreating monsoon. Okay, so this is the different seasons we can say in our country, especially agriculture sector and all sectors, or even our day-to-day life also depends upon these two processes like onset and offset. Okay, now when we discuss about this global warming, AGW and climate change and all, you can understand what changes happen in this regular system. Okay, from earliest time, so years ago, you all know, like let us discuss about that all. So these all about southwest onset monsoon and withdrawal of monsoon. This topic already we have discussed in the last session, and today's our agenda is global warming, AGW and climate change, impact of climate change in India. Here, look at the screen, global warming and climate change. What did you understand from this picture? Here, Madhavi, please unmute yourself. Madhavi, global warming and climate change heading here. You can see a picture. What did you understand from this?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Very good afternoon. Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Tell me.
Sir,
Yes. Here it is
Sir?
picture. Yes, yes.
I'm not listening your voice, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Okay,
Sir?
sorry, I am talking, but you are not listening or unable to hear my voice, I think. So some technical issues maybe. So please, like once again, already you unmuted. Okay, fine. I'll come to you. I'll come to you. Okay, so fine. What did you, anyone here, what did you understand from this picture? Sudarshan. Sudarshan, please unmute Sudarshan. Sudarshan, question to you. Ankita, I cannot see your face. You are showing only thumbs up. How can I talk to you?
Huh?
Are you there? Sudarshan, please move away from your place because a lot of noise. Otherwise, you mute yourself. Please, it's a request from my side. Okay, a lot of noise from your surroundings. Gautam, can you tell me answer? What did you understand from this picture? No idea. Nobody responding. Here, global warming and climate change. You can see in this AGW, anthropogenic global warming. You can see here the global warming, the climatical effect which caused by human activities. Okay, that answer you have here. Increasing temperature in the atmosphere due to some greenhouse gases. So that we call global warming and climate changes. Yes or no? So a summary, let me give you, before we discuss about this concept, let me give you a small summary. Listen carefully, all of you. What is global warming? Global warming is nothing but increasing temperature in the atmosphere is called global warming due to some greenhouse gases. Actually, what role here, especially carbon dioxide, one of the greenhouse gas we can say. So when carbon dioxide, like more carbon dioxide accumulate in the atmosphere, it won't allow the solar radiation or solar insolation reflect back to the space. Actually, atmosphere is a protective layer. You all know that. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, like many layers already have learned. So it's a protective layer of the earth. So here what happens is when carbon dioxide accumulate in the atmosphere, it won't like all the heat. Suppose 100% solar radiation, we are not receiving. It reflect back in the different layers. The same time, what happens is carbon dioxide, when it accumulates in the atmosphere, it won't allow the radiation reflect back. Heat accumulate in the atmosphere. It effect on human being. I hope everyone understood. Okay, carbon dioxide. So to avoid that, many activities we can do, planting more plants, because carbon dioxide absorbed by plants and release oxygen. Am I right? Nowadays, deforestation is happening. The same time, increasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere due to human activities that we call AGW. So the process is increasing temperature in the atmosphere due to carbon dioxide is called global warming. Answer completed. So how it's happened, I have told you, solar insolation, after there is no reflection. Heat accumulate in the atmosphere. Okay, this carbon dioxide won't allow heat to reflect back to the space. That is a mechanism of global warming. Okay, so generally we call these all greenhouse gases. We will discuss about that all. So now definition of global warming and climate change. See here, one column you have global warming and next column you have climate change. What impact? Global warming and its impact you can see. So first one you hear refers to temperature increase in the atmosphere. Refers to changes in any aspects of the Earth's climate, including temperature, precipitation, and storm intensity and patterns. See here what it causes. When temperature increases, it also causes for precipitation, rain, fluctuation in the rain. At the same time, including temperature. Temperature also makes difference. Okay, because human being or all the living being may feel uncomfort. Wind intensity, all patterns. Okay, a regular pattern, a sudden changes on regular pattern we feel. Just an example now, winter climate. It's a winter season, you all know. Even though, dear students, compare past and today's present. Okay, from your 6th class onwards, once you just take an example, what changes happening in the atmosphere? We won't feel that much cool nowadays. Am I right? Sometimes we may feel hot, even it is December. Is it the best example? Like this, not like regular. Many variations or fluctuations we can see in the climatical condition or weather condition. And next one, an increase in the Earth's average surface temperature due to rising level of greenhouse gases. Increasing the Earth's average surface temperature and long-term change in the Earth's climate or of a region on the Earth. Long-term changes, it means not only present, long-term, if it is increase, it is greenhouse gas effects increase, it's a long-time effect we may get. Okay, so this is a short definitions you can see here. What is global warming? Its impact. This answer enough for 2 marks or 3 marks answer. So what is global warming? How it affects on the living being, including human being, especially. Okay, so now here human impact on the earth. See, human activity plus earth is equal to global climatical change is equal to the survival of living being. We have to add. Am I right? Yes, human activities. You know, this is 23rd, 24th century. We can say that industrial revolution and the same time many developmental activities, artificial intelligence. Yes or no? So this all gives great impact on the earth. Especially like mainly we feel this all through these climatical changes and its consequences. Okay, a short like a formula they have given. Human activity is very good. There is no problem in the global climate change. If it's excessive human activities or the utilization of natural resources cause for global climate change or the environmental crisis, we can say. You can expect a question. What are like in the contemporary issues? Okay, environmental crisis is nothing but problems or natural calamities. In one word, we can say that natural calamities. Coming to that, causes of global environmental problems. So, dear students, these points, if you explain that enough for this. Okay, the causes of global environmental problems. Population growth, day by day increasing population. There is no sufficient space for human being. The same time, deforestation, mining, and many different digging like wells, bore wells, many activities. Human impacts, per capita consumption, usage of natural resources, technological development, artificial intelligence, environmental crisis. Okay, so a short note you have here. If you write or if you explain about this concept, that concept is completed. Global environmental problems, human impact, and environmental crisis. Population, per capita consumption, technology. Okay, children? Yes. Now, let us see the textual concept. See here, global warming and climatical changes. From past, they have given clearly as Earth started to take its shape from a fireball to a planet. Already, Big Bang theory you have learned. I am not ready to explain repeatedly that Big Bang theory. Many gases were released. These gases did not escape into outer space because of the Earth's gravitational pull, and it still held them back. That we call atmosphere. That we call atmosphere, these layers and all. Is it after Big Bang? What happened? Many gases released. That gas is still present in the atmosphere, did not escape into the outer space because Earth acts like a powerful magnet. The result, a thin layer of gases surround the Earth and provides several important benefits. Example, the oxygen that we breathe, the ozone that protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays and infrared rays from the sun, the nitrogen that our plants use to make proteins that we need. Okay, so these all presents in the atmosphere. That all protect you, not excessive. Excessive, nothing there because only sufficient content already we have. That we can say that a protective layer. This layer of gases is the medium through which fresh water is circulated, and it also keeps us warm. Example, if you want, you can see that 9th already have learned. Keeping us warm is one of the most important things that the atmosphere does for us. It's absolutely correct. Solar energy or solar radiation, we can say. Yes or no? Sufficient energy released by the sun. That energy give us a warm climate, a beautiful, a nice climate, like what we call, we have no word for that. Am I right? If we tell something because it's beautiful and nice atmosphere we have. Now what we are doing, we are spoiling it. That we call AGW, human activity, always like against this process. You will recall from class 9th, what you learned, that atmosphere traps a lot of solar energy that reaches the earth by preventing it from totally escaping back into the space. This is called a greenhouse effect, or greenhouses. You can see greenhouses, artificial greenhouses you have learned. What is actually greenhouses? Artificial greenhouses used for protecting some types of some sort of plants. Actually, plants won't grow each and every part of the world. Like suppose in India we have some sort of plants. If you plant in America, UK, or US, it won't grow. So what we have to do according to the climate. Yes or no? The same way here you have the earth by preventing it from the totally escaping back into the phase. This is called a greenhouse effect. What is greenhouse gases and greenhouse effect? Don't confuse. Greenhouse effect is nothing but earth, the natural, or naturally we have a protection. So heat, it absorbs and it won't allow entire, like all radiation reflect back to the space. Some accumulate in the atmosphere or the lithosphere. Okay, so that they meant here, that we call greenhouse effect. Please underline, students, note it down. Always you may confuse greenhouse effect and greenhouse gases. Greenhouse effect is nothing but earth won't allow escape all the radiation back to the space. It also protect, it also absorb or accept some sort of heat in the lithosphere. Generally we call greenhouse effect. This is an important and vital for life to survive on this planet. If the earth did not have this atmosphere, it would be very cold in need. See here, if there is no atmosphere, it is a cool climate because earth itself acts as a protector, we can say. Atmosphere itself acts as a protector. Okay, so these radiations won't reflect back, it accumulate here, or it's suit for human habitat, we can say. Not only human being, all the living being, even each and every work, each and every act, from morning to evening, once you observe the solar radiation, the solar energy, which release that energy, what are the uses you have? Because even dry our dresses or plants, photosynthesis process, everywhere we can see. So why we discuss this all in the sense before we enter into the global warming topic, what we have to know, how this heat, like solar radiation or solar energy, protect us and how it's accumulate or absorbed by the earth, we must know. Yes, here you see. However, since the 19th century, the planet has been warming up very rapidly. This topic already have learned, warming up rapidly, and new plants started growing. There is an increasing concern about this. Why this concern? After all, Earth has been through many cycles of warming and cooling. In fact, freezing, so that it is so special about it now. Earlier cycles of cooling and warming happened over very long period of time. This allowed most of the life of the earth on the earth the time to adapt to the changes. See here what they meant. Why do we discuss about this? Like in the 19th century, the earth, like entire climate changes occurred. Our ancestors, earliest, like you already learn about the earliest people, their lifestyle. Why did they start settlement? Why did they start domestication of plants? How did they start the domestication of plants and animals? You already learned what enabled them. This all because great changes in the atmosphere help them a lot. That also Long in the sense a particular long weather. Long weather in the sense a long time climatical changes, 6 months, 2 months, 3 months. Okay, continuous climatical changes is occurring. But now what happening? There is no major climatical changes nowadays. Only temperature is increasing. Warm climate we are feeling. Am I right? But in olden days, how the life? Because that proper climatical changes enable some sort of new living being or the plants or animals grow in the on the earth. But now the system entirely changed. The problem now is that the heating is much more rapid and could lead to catastrophic. You have a term here. What is meaning of catastrophe? Causing sudden damage. Okay, please note down. Catastrophic changes or causing sudden damage, we can say. The problem now is that heating is much more rapid and could lead to catastrophic changes. A great damage, a sudden damage. Much of the warming that has been occurring since the industrial revolution is because of human activity. Hence, the current global warming trend is called AGW. Here you have the definition. Anthropogenic global warming. Anthropogenic means caused by human. No other living being reason for that. Only human being. See here, that we call anthropogenic global warming. So industrialization is one activity. Not only industrialization, artificial intelligence, and many new maximum where we get place, we are trying to occupy that. Dear students, let me tell you a small example. Nowadays we are trying to settle in space even. Am I right? Many spacecraft searching moon, all the planets, where we get a small place for survival, immediately we reach there. Water available there, or river is there or not, or plants there or not. Why do we search for this? Or because of the greediness, we can say in simple word. Yes or no? Human being always need like excessive usage of natural resources. A simple word. Okay, so here that term AGW is very important, students. Please note it down. Anthropogenic global warming. Anthropogenic means caused by human being. Okay, so that is the meaning. Please note it down. You can expect that question, either fill in the blanks, otherwise they may ask AGW, how AGW goes for the global warming. Okay, when you get that question, you have to add these all points. Already previous slide I have shown you how AGW, how its impact human activities. Coming to that, we will see that all. And here, more recently, what scientists are discovering large volumes of methane under the frozen tundra of the far northern latitude, mainly in the vast expanses of northern Russia. So in the tundra region, the polar region, you all know that ice frozen. Actually, this methane is more than dangerous, like carbon dioxide. Okay, as global temperature increases, the ice in the tundra melt more. Due to this carbon dioxide, what happens when the ice blocks, like what we call melt, that time this methane released. The methane that is trapped under the ice escaped into the atmosphere, increasing the global temperature. In turn, this causes even more ice to melt, releasing even more methane and so on. Methane is said to be even more powerful than carbon dioxide as greenhouse gases. Next one you can see here, methane. Okay, next, when it reaches in the atmosphere, it is very dangerous than carbon dioxide, it seems. This also cause for increasing temperature. Once there, like just a simple word, let me remind you, if the polar, North Pole and South Pole, if the ice blocks melt or change into the form of water, entire universe may cover. Or we all under water, students, more than that. Okay, large quantity, okay, in the form of ice. So once if it is start melting, or once it start changing into the form of water, or in the form of liquid, completed. No Mancherial, no Adilabad. Yes, no, where we? Yes or no? We have to find some other solutions, or we have to find some other place to live or survive. That may be the situation in future. It is not very long, maybe in next generation or upcoming generation. So this is one more fact. Methane, don't forget, one more gas where it accumulate, where we can see this under the ice blocks. Scientists already discovered it seems. What happening now is there it is safe. But nowadays, due to this temperature, high temperature, there also ice will like change into water. So under that circumstances, that methane released to the atmosphere, and that also goes for global warming. Remember like that. Okay, so now AGW and climate changes. Actually, you have learned, I think, Kyoto Protocol in the previous class, I think, 9th class. Can anyone remember that Kyoto Protocol? Protect our nature, that is the aim. Kyoto Protocol, I can remember now that Kyoto Protocol. What is the main aim of the Kyoto Protocol? It's nothing but protect our earth from mother health, from Bhumi Mata, from yes or no, mother health, earth. So from global warming or these greenhouse gases and all. Here AGW is causing many changes in the distribution of heat in the Earth system. Remember how atmospheric and oceanic circulation keeps redistributing the heat in the world. AGW disturb this and the redistribution system. Already we have discussed southwest monsoon. Correctly, June month we get. Yes or no? We have an expectation. Oh, reopening, school reopening time. Surely heavy rain. Schools may close 1 or 2 days. We may get a holiday. Expectations are there, but don't expect hereafter. Okay, that also won't happen because that system also going to be changed by human activity. Okay, I like these gases won't allow for this because climate entirely like even unexpected rain now Nivar cyclone like hit in like where in Chennai and some other areas, or you may heard about 2 cyclones at a time. This one more is there. I forget the name. Is it? So this type of situation may face. Here say, remember how atmospheric and ocean circulations keep redistributing the heat in the world. AGW disturbs this and the redistribution system. The disturbance itself is not so much of a problem. It is the rapidity with which it's happening. When the redistribution system is disturbed, weather and climate pattern changed, long-term changes, climatical changes happen from accumulation of short-term changes, weather changes. That's it. Okay, in conclusion, what is the effect of AGW? Here you have weather changes only for 1 or 2 days, we can adjust. If weather continues for long time, that we call climate, already have learned. But the present weather or present condition continues for long time. Just remember, students, what happens in future. Total system will be changed. Redistribution system. Actually, atmosphere, it's natural process we have here. Okay, exactly. Winter, climate, like proper climate, winter, summer, rainy, autumn, or whatever it may be, we have a proper climatical changes in our country. Any other countries, if you go Europe, if you go America, if you go France or any other places, you won't get this type of a proper climatical change. That is a specialty of our country. Even now, that system also going to be changed due to human activities. Here you have the greenhouse gas content of the atmosphere is being altered by human activity. The greenhouse gas content of the atmosphere is being altered by human activity. What alteration you have? Excess or more, we can say, excess gases. Yes or no? Carbon, normally, dear students, we all release carbon dioxide. Don't feel we inhale oxygen, exhale carbon dioxide is common. But released carbon dioxide should be reproduced by plants. Am I right? Reproduction in the sense, in the form of oxygen. Here, releasing process is very good, excellent. But what happening here? It won't reproduction. There is no plants. A proper balance process is not there. There is no plants there actually. Is it? Where is that plants? Cutting and constructing building. Accumulation is more in the atmosphere. Where these gases are all in the atmosphere. Increasing population, one more factor. When population increases. See your village situation past 5 years. What is present situation? Many buildings you can see. Very beautiful. Urban. Yes or no? Urbanization. We need very good facilities in the village, 2-3 factories, cinema theater, and everything we need. Field and all not necessary, keep aside. Okay, we have to construct, go on that, like future, let us see, not future in the sense within short span of time, not more time, within 20 to 30 years, you will get result. The result of this change is global warming. Just a small note, remember always, the greenhouse gas content of the atmosphere is being altered by human activity. A new altered in the sense changes, like some changes we did, AGW, the same process. The result of this change is global warming. Okay, so now you are seeing an international effort to form an agreement by all countries try to reduce their emission of greenhouse gases has so far not been achieved. See here, all international countries or international, actually dear students, let me remind you one thing. These developed countries is not a matter. You know, America and some other developed countries. Actually, these developing countries only creating these all problems or nonsense or nuisance, we can say. Am I right? Developing countries, they are like improving the technological revolution, technological activity, industrialization, everywhere. Okay, we are playing on environment. We developed the country, already they have developed. They can do something. The same problem here. An international organization called Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC. Note it down in your running note. Okay, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is an international organization. An international organization like called for a summit. So what that happened here? See, it has held many conferences to work out a treaty among nations of the world to reduce AGW and try to solve down the process of climate change. None of these have been successful. None of what may be the reason? So if you get a question that like IPCC called a meeting with all countries, but it's not successful. What may be the reason? Because the people, the countries, whatever, like whoever attended this meeting, most of the countries in developing stage, they are not ready for any compromise because their aim is to, like, they have to stand in developed country stage. Is it? So their aim is to reach in that position. Under that, they are not compromising. They won't give up. So they go on with their activities. So none of these have been successful. The IPCC 2015 Paris Summit came to an agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emission in order to limit the rise in global average temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrialization level. On this agreement, total 195 countries signed. After that, what happens once you see? Broadly, the disagreements are between the developed countries, mainly industrialized, economically more advanced countries of the West, and developing countries, countries that are not as industrialized. Their one argument. What is that? Developed countries want developing countries to cut down on burning coal and other activities that add the greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. Developed country, what did they suggest? Stop your all the developmental activities, stop industrial activity, stop usage of natural gases. So this calls for global warming. That is a suggestion. But will they accept, these developing countries, will they accept this all? No, never, because their aim is to reach in that position. They have to reach the developed countries position. So developing countries argue that developed countries developed previously by burning fossil fuels when they were developing. So what they are arguing, so already you used this all. Now you are in that stage. You are in developed stage. Why do we give up? Yes or no? Once they also used this all extensively or maximum, why do we stop this all works now? We are not ready. We have signed, but even though we are not ready to move back. Developing countries say that their economic development will be seriously damaged if they don't burn fossil fuels, mainly coal. And that developed countries should do their fair share of work to help find alternatives that can help the developing countries to progress. So finally, so many conferences or many arguments, finally what happened there? They are not ready to give up. So such a way, they have to think to develop the countries, especially developing countries. Most scientists from around the world agree on this much. AGW is real. It is happening and it is leading to rapid and drastic climate change. They warn that several weather and other changes will increase in the coming years and threaten the life as we know it. One of the human activities that contribute to global warming is deforestation. And discuss this with your, okay, so we will discuss about that, how deforestation goes for global warming. Already we have discussed about that, because deforestation, because like a proper reproduction should be there. What we exhale, it should be reproduced in a systematic manner. It done by plants. Actually, deforestation also cause for global warming, like carbon dioxide content increase in the atmosphere, that they meant here. Okay, children. So just I'm going to end up this session, because we cannot, time not permitted. So in the next session, we will discuss about this topic and we will conclude this chapter. And everyone prepare well, and your syllabus already have given for examination. So your syllabus is 3rd and 10th chapter. Okay, 3rd lesson and 10th lesson is your syllabus. All of you prepare well. And the students who got less marks in the last examination, so you must get 20 out of 20 and show me. I'll ask you, show me, this is very simple answer sheet. Is it? I will check your marks here. Okay. And that marks will be forwarded to your principal. Okay. And one more thing, students, we already forwarded a worksheet, I think. Yes or no, sir? Worksheets already. So please collect the worksheets and go on that. Okay, that is your internal. So please collect worksheets from your principal. Done? Okay, Gautam, Sharanya, Gautam, Maitri, Akila, no response. Okay, good. I cannot call all. Devi Prasad, Ayari Gloomy. Huh? Okay. Okay.
Good afternoon, Marandal. Welcome to Shanvi Learning Services, and also welcoming to biology class. So please stand line. Okay, in last class we have launched about evolution in gases exchange system. Okay, please stand line. I'm going to share slides. Now today we are going to discuss about the respiration in plants. So breathing is different and respiration is different, as you know already. Now, how animals and plants respire? What are the end products? Okay. Okay, children. Evolution in respiratory system, like how different types of animals and adapted the respiration processes and organs, how they are developed in their body, and evolution in gas exchanging system we have seen already. So we have discussed by taking different animals. Today we are going to discuss about respiration in plants. Okay, all organisms try for the survival. Okay, so survival for the fittest, as you know already. So we have discussed by taking frog, cockroach and all. Now here our topic is respiration in plants. Okay, fine. See here, you already know that about stomata. Stomata is a nose of plant, because how exchange of gases is taking place in our body by nose, like that stomata is involving in that exchange of gases which is present in leaf of plant. Okay, so here the stomata in leaf where gas exchange takes place in plants. Okay, there are other areas on the plant's body as well which involve in the exchange of gases, so which gas exchange takes place, like surface of roots and lenticels and stem also. Not only stomata, surface of root and lenticels on stem also involving in the exchange of gases. Some plants also have specialized structures like breathing roots of mangrove plants as well, like which surface area, land surface area filled with water, like watery areas like mangrove, as well as the tissue in orchids that produce oxygen is also required by plants to produce energy, and carbon dioxide is released, but carbon dioxide is required elsewhere in the plants. Try to identify them. As you know, the conduction within the plants, how the stomatal opening lead to a series of spaces between the cells inside the plants, and which form a continuous network all over the plant. Okay, the spaces are very large in the leaves and much smaller in other parts of the plants. Spaces are very large in the leaves compared to other parts in the plants. Okay, other parts of the plants will have the smaller spaces when compared to leaf. The air spaces are lined with water where the oxygen is dissolved in this and passes through the porous cells, porous cell walls. Okay, porous like small holes, like okay, cell walls into the cytoplasm. Here the sugar is broken down. As you know, we have seen in the flow chart, like how the glucose converted into pyruvic acid, 3-carbon compound, and from there, if oxygen is present, the plants and animals are involving in that respiration process to produce the energy. So what is the products? Carbon dioxide, water, and energy will be produced. Energy will be produced. So here, for photosynthesis process, the plants required carbon dioxide to make their own food. Okay, to make their own food, but they are not getting directly from that food energy. See here, we are taking some of food. Are we getting directly energy? No. When we breathe in, the oxygen reaches the cell, which is involving the respiration process, like cell is involving the respiration process. There we are getting the energy. Like that in plants also. Plants also involving in respiration process, as how human beings required, like animals required oxygen for respiration process to release energy. Likewise, plants also required oxygen to produce energy by the respiration process. Plants required carbon dioxide to make their own food by the photosynthesis process. That is okay, fine. But to produce energy as well, animals, okay, plants also needed oxygen. Plants also needed oxygen to produce energy. Here the sugar is broken down into carbon dioxide and water with the liberation of the energy, right? With the liberation of the energy. The carbon dioxide passes out into the air spaces by a similar method. The whole system works by diffusion process, like high concentration to low concentration. Diffusion, osmosis is low concentration to high concentration. As oxygen is used up by the cells, gradient develops between the cells and the air in the spaces. Similarly, between the air in the spaces and the air outside the stomata and the lenticels. Okay. So oxygen passes in. Oxygen passes in the same way as more carbon dioxide is released by the cells. A gradient occurs in the reverse direction and it passes out to the environment. Okay. Now, see here how animals require that oxygen. See, breathing is different, children. Breathing just taking in and releasing out. Inhale and exhale. That is a breathing. Of course, here we have one doubt. So, carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. But respiration process is done in plants and animals like same by utilizing oxygen. So, plants also require oxygen. Yes, exactly. Plants also require oxygen. See, as plants need oxygen to survive and plant cells are constantly using oxygen. Constantly using oxygen. Under certain circumstances, plant cells need to take in more oxygen from the air than they generate themselves. Okay. So, if plants generate oxygen through photosynthesis, why do plants need oxygen? Here one doubt. Plants only producing the oxygen in photosynthesis process, then why do plants need oxygen? Already they only producing now. The reason is that plants respire. Plants respire to just like animals. As I told you just now, we have one flow chart also when we talk about aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Glucose to pyruvate 3-carbon compound. Again, if oxygen is present, it will go for the aerobic respiration. If absent, that will go for anaerobic respiration. You know already yeast and bacteria, so and so, that anaerobic, like fermentation. Then coming to aerobic, plants and animals. Okay, break down the sucrose, sugar materials and produces carbon dioxide, water and energy will be released. So, the reason is that plants respire too, just like animals. Respiration does not just mean breathing, children. Respiration does not mean just like okay. Respiration does not mean just breathing. Okay, breathing is different. Just being a process to take in and out. But respiration is a energy producing system. It is a process that all living things used to release. All living things used to release energy for use in their cells. Respiration in plants is like photosynthesis run backwards. Okay, respiration in plants is like a photosynthesis run backwards. Instead of capturing energy by manufacturing sugars and release oxygen, cells release energy for their own use by breaking down sugars and using up oxygen. Animals take in carbohydrates. Animals take in carbohydrates for respiration through the food they eat, and their cells constantly release the energy stored in food through respiration. Plants, on the other hand, make their own carbohydrates, like make their own food when they photosynthesize. By the photosynthesis process, plants can make their own carbohydrates, nothing but food, and their cells use up those same carbohydrates through respiration. Okay, then oxygen for plants is essential because it makes the process of respiration more efficient. Okay, so known as aerobic respiration. See, just you see, plants are utilizing carbon dioxide, so and so you have already photosynthesis reaction, but that reaction for making their own food. Here we are eating food. Okay, are you getting the energy? No, without oxygen, how can you get energy? So likewise, here to break down that sugar materials, here we required oxygen. Like that, same plants also required oxygen to break down the sugars. Okay, then it involving the aerobic respiration. By break down the sugar materials, produces water, carbon dioxide gas, and releases energy also. Okay, likewise. See children, oxygen for plants is essential because it makes the process of respiration more efficient. That is known as aerobic respiration. As you know already, the large amount of energy is releasing in aerobic respiration only. Example, plants and animals. We have discussed already with flow chart. Okay. Plant cells are respiring constantly. Plant cells are respiring constantly when leaves are illuminated. When leaves are illuminated, plants generate their own oxygen, fine. But during times when they cannot access. But during times when they cannot access light, most plants respire more than they photosynthesize. Most plants respire more than they photosynthesize. So they take in more oxygen than they produce. At a time they require more oxygen than they produce. Roots, seeds, and other parts of plants that don't photosynthesize also need to consume oxygen, because that all things need energy. To need energy, they consume oxygen to break down the sugar materials. This is a part of the reason plant roots can drown in waterlogged soil. So that is a reason plants needed oxygen. What they are taking through the stomata may not sufficient at the time when they needed excess amount of oxygen compared to like what they produce by the photosynthesis process. At the time, the lenticels which are present on the stem and roots surface area also can involve in the like respiration process, like to take the oxygen, they will modify the roots also in that mangrove areas. Okay, a growing plants still release more oxygen than it consumes. See, like that's here balancing going on. A growing plant still releases more oxygen that it consumes. Overall, so plants and the plant life of the earth are major sources of the oxygen that we need to breathe. Okay, so this is a reason. And okay, fine. Then what plants? I told you already in what situation the plants require more oxygen. Even they are producing by the photosynthesis process, but at that situation they require more. For example, this is mangrove plants, mangrove area. Which area is filled with water? The surface area filled with water. Then which plants are present in that particular area? That plants what? Respiring the oxygen through the stomata is may not sufficient at the time. That roots can take the modification like adaptations. The roots can grow from that watery area to the surface, like above the surface to the atmosphere side. That roots are called aerial roots. The aerial roots are also considered as a respiratory roots. Okay, these are mangrove plants. Okay, let us go for the next slide. Okay. Now, see here. Aeration of roots. Look at the screen, all of you. Already how shown here. So this is a mangrove plant. Okay, total it is like surface is filled with water. That's why they are showing this adaptation. Now, the figure number 16, look at the screen, aerial or respiratory roots. Most plants can aerate. Most plants can aerate. Most plants can aerate their roots by taking in oxygen through the lenticels which are present on the stem or through surface of their root heads, as their walls are very thin. So from that, like main root again, root hairs will be that also involving that. They obtain oxygen from the air spaces existing between the soil particles. So in that surface, like soil, so there the soil particles will have little gaps. In that gaps, the air will fill. So from that, the air is absorbed by that roots also. Okay. So here they obtain oxygen from air spaces existing between the soil particles, but plants which grow in very wet places like mangrove, okay, such as ponds or marshy soils. Okay, so which plants are living in that particular watery areas, wet places, they are unable to obtain oxygen, right? They are unable to obtain required oxygen. At that time, they are adapted to these water-logged conditions. How? By having much larger air spaces which connect their stems with the aerial roots. They are adapted to these water-logged conditions by having much larger air spaces which connect the stem with the aerial roots. So making diffusion principle like high concentration to low concentration, making diffusion from the upper parts much more efficient. Okay. See here, the most usual adaptation is to have a hollow stem, like a hollow stem which will have the hole, like how the bone will have inside that hole space, that is a hollow structure. Like if you observe this watery, like watery plants, which plants can grow their particular areas, marshy and ponds. If you observe that, you can see that a hollow stem. And next time when you are by a pond or marsh, please cut the stems of some of the plants which are growing there. You can see the hollow structure. And see how many are hollow compared with a similar number of species of plants growing in normal soil. Okay. The problem of air transport is more difficult for trees, right? And not many survive with their roots permanently in water because of insufficient oxygen not many plants which are growing in the water area, they may not survive because the problem of air transport is more difficult for trees. Okay, so they may not survive many with their roots permanently in water. An exception is a mangrove tree of the tropics which have aerial roots, as I told you just now, above the soil. Actually, roots will grow in the soil downward direction. Okay, but so normal main root will be like this. From that roots, that particular roots will grow above the surface, upward direction that will take a growth. Because in this water, very less amount of oxygen will be dissolved. So there is no chance to get a proper oxygen for the plants to involve in the respiration process. That's why they will modify their roots like by taking adaptations that roots can grow towards up. Okay, upward direction roots will grow and above the surface, like above the watery area, like shown in the figure. Then they can take the sufficient oxygen, okay, through that aerial roots or respiratory roots. Okay, so see here, the mangrove tree of the tropics which have aerial roots or respiratory roots above the soil surface, and it takes in oxygen through these roots. Okay, fine children, here in figure number 16, like some structures are appearing here above the surface in watery area, mangrove area. They are surviving their lives with roots. That's why here given exception for mangrove. So the roots are growing towards upward direction, like figure number 16, above the surface to take the oxygen, to take in oxygen through these roots. So these roots are aerial roots or respiratory roots. Okay, so to know more about respiration in plants, we have to perform some activities. Now let us discuss about one activity very important. So about this aerial roots and dentices respiration in plants, have given worksheet. Okay, and then let us discuss about this activity 3. So children, don't get confused. Already we have figure number 12. The figure number 12 is testing for production of heat and carbon dioxide under anaerobic respiration. There we are testing that the carbon dioxide and heat both will be produced or not. And next figure number 13 in your textbook, carbon dioxide, a byproduct of energy release. Here we are going for combustion of sugar. Combustion of sugar. So here carbon dioxide is a byproduct of energy release. Here we are, and now we are going to discuss about the evolving of carbon dioxide in respiration process. Evolving carbon dioxide in respiration process. Okay, so please evolve carbon dioxide in respiration. Now activity 3, important. Take a handful of here it is given like normal description manner. We have to make this into lab activity manner, like by putting aim, apparatus and materials required, procedure, precautions, observations, result and opinion. Okay, so to perform this activity here we required moong or Bengal gram soaked seeds, molakette vittanalu here we required. So here there is no chance to make that seeds at the time. That's why when you are going to perform this activity before one day, you have to get ready to get that particular soaked seeds. So what will you do for that? See here, you have to take a handful of moong or Bengal gram seeds. Soak the seeds in water a day before. A day before. Keep these soaked seeds. Keep these soaked seeds in a cloth or pouch, cloth pouch, and tie with a string tightly. You just tie with one thread tightly. Keep the cloth pouch in a corner of your classroom or in a corner of your home. Next day, collect the sprouts, germinated seeds, mulakette vittanalu from the pouch. Keep it in a glass bottle, as shown in the figure, or plastic bottle, your wish. Around 200 ml capacity you have to take. 200 ml capacity. And here also we required lime water, because whether carbon dioxide evolved or not, we can test with this. So here we need lime water. As you know, every time for carbon dioxide we are using the lime water, because when carbon dioxide reacts with lime water, it turns into milky white, as you know commonly. Now take a small beaker as shown in the figure 17. Fill 3/4. See, fill 3/4 of with lime water. Lime water means sunnam neeru. Keep it in the beaker carefully, as shown in the figure, like last figure. Close the plastic bottle tightly. Make a similar setup. See here, children. Here in your textbook only one only given, but here you have to make a similar setup. Okay, in one glass tube or plastic bottle or glass bottle, you have taken a sprouted seeds, right? This is a setup A, along with that lime water which is present in that like beaker. As this same setup you can take as B, but here lime water is common, plastic or glass bottle is common, but instead of sprouted seeds you have to take normal seeds. In setup B you have to take normal seeds. Then setup A consists of germinated seeds like soaked seeds, sprouts. Okay. Setup B, same, we'll have the same lime water beaker with lime water, and there we have taken just normal seeds, no germinated seeds, right? Now keep it in the beaker carefully. Close the plastic bottle tightly. Make a similar set with unsprouted seeds. Same, you have to make a similar setup, but you have to take unsprouted seeds in set B. Keep this set undisturbed for 1 or 2 days. During this time, observe the color of lime water. Observe the color of lime water. You don't put aside and don't try to chit chat with your friends or anybody. You have to keep observation on that particular activity, whether lime water is changed into milky white or not. Okay, then you have to observe both sets, set A and set B. Set A we have taken a sprouted seed, set B we have taken unsprouted seeds. In which set does the color changes faster? Why? As you know, in which setup we have taken sprouted seeds, in that the color will change, like that lime water turns into milky white. Okay, because here respiration is taking place. What type of respiration is taking place? So here by the respiration here carbon dioxide is releases. Carbon dioxide is releases, and the carbon dioxide is reacted with that lime water, and it turns into milky white. Okay. So now activity 4. Activity 4. So as we have no time, if I start that, it will be stop in middle. So that's why this activity 4 here same like heat is evolved during respiration. There we have observed carbon dioxide is evolved during respiration by taking sprouted seeds. Here by taking same sprouted seeds, we can observe heat, how heat is evolving during the respiration. Both are very important. Okay. Later we can go for the photosynthesis versus respiration. And what is the photosynthesis? What is the respiration? How the reactions are different, but both processes are same. Both are trying for producing the energy. Okay. Then that is our lesson. Okay. Lesson will be complete. So for your test, we have covered from respiration lesson. We have just normal activity. The rest of that we have completed. Activity 4 is there. Just nothing is there here. We have to take a thermoplast. Okay. When we take that that figure lime water means you just feel carbon dioxide. This is related to carbon dioxide. When you take that thermoplast diagram, it is related to heat. When we use the thermoplast to keep the temperature, okay. So here, when we use the thermoplast, there is no exchanging of temperature from system to surrounding system as per physical chemistry, you know. So thermoplast is using. That's why here this activity is related to heat. If you does not take the thermoplast, what heat is evolved, nothing but energy is evolved by the sprouted seeds. It can be maybe exchanged from system to surrounding. It means from thermoplast to outside. Do we get any result? No. That's why here to stop that we have to use here thermoplast. Let us give one idea about that. Later we can go deeply. See here we are taking just a thermoplast. Same what sprouted seeds you have used, you can use that sprouted seeds for here. But here just don't write blindly here. Let us read first line. Observe carefully. Take sprouts which were prepared for above activity in the thermoplast. Don't write like this in exam. Here as we have textbook, that's why activity 3 we have taken, that's why take sprouts which were prepared for above activity. Here, okay, fine, it is suitable. But if you write as the same line for that in the exam, is there any activity 3 above the exam, above the particular question? Then that who are like correcting your papers, then he will get idea. She or he buttified. So like that, they will get some negative feeling on you. Write your own. You just same here to decrease the space. May they have given like that. What will you do? Same. You have to write one story like that. What you have to collect like some handful of moong, okay, that grams seeds, and you have to same as it is what here given in activity 3. Handful of moong or Bengal gram seeds. Soak the seeds in water day before. Keep the soaked seeds in a cloth pouch and tie with a string tightly. Keep the cloth pouch in a corner of your classroom. You don't say keep the cloth pouch in your corner of your classroom. You are a student. I am a teacher. That's what I am saying to you. But okay, I will. You have to use I will. Or you are doing this activity. You are doing this experiment, right? So I can take a handful of moong, or we have to take a handful of moong or Bengal gram seeds, and we have to soak the seeds in water day before, and let us keep these soaked seeds in cloth pouch and tie with a string tightly, and we have to keep the cloth pouch in the corner of the classroom. Next day we have to collect the sprouted seeds to do this, to perform this activity. After that, remove the lid and prepare a cork with thermocol or rubber or any other material through which you can bore a hole to inside a thermometer. Here I will show with cursor. This particular space is there, no? This particular space is like we have to keep one cap, that is a cork, CORK cork. That you can take as a rubber or thermocol, what it may be. Almost all in laboratory we can use that rubber one, like which will have in red color like. So if that have that a hole, nothing a problem, because to test that the heat is evolved or not, we need a thermometer, right? We have to insert the thermometer into that. We have to dip the thermometer into the seeds. So if there is no hole, you have to bore a hole Why? To insert a thermometer. The thermometer also, if you draw above the spotted seeds, it's wrong. You try to dip the thermometer into the spotted seeds as shown in the figure. That also necessary, children. You will get a proper result. Okay now. So like that we have to, and after that, however, we are closing that, then we can keep the aside that. Okay, and here we have to note that initial reading, like when you started, what is the reading of the mercury in the thermometer. Okay, for every 2 hours or 1 hour, like what here given as per that procedure, we have to record the temperature for every 2 hours here given. Okay, so like that will be. So let us continue deeply about this tomorrow. Just I have given an idea. Here thermometer is there, thermoplastic is there, then dermating seeds are there. Okay, so please avoid such sort of things like take spot seeds which we are prepared from above activity, or you are at students, and also please don't try to question for anybody, because you are doing that experiment. As we are teachers, that's why we are guiding you. Please try to keep this so and so experiment in the corner of the classroom. You don't guide to anybody. Please put that particular thing in the corner of your classroom, because you are just learners. You are doing that. Okay, so that type of things you have to just okay, inculcate and try to perform well. Try to present well in your answer sheet. Like by that we can know the student psychology and student talent with that lines. Okay, some members may know everything. They can write anything also, but this sort of things they may do mistake. By that the teacher will feel she was the buttified or something. As you are children, so you may know, but from my side, I'm giving once again the advice. Of course, you know more than me, I think. But my side, I'm giving just advice. Please take positive and try to perform good. Okay, so presentation is also needed. Presentation, how much you know, that is not important. Your paper presentation is needed. Sometimes in these activities, they may ask write a procedure of heat evolved during respiration and precautions. Let you write procedure and precautions only, that's it. Leave little space and go for the next bit. If you start from AM to result without asking also, then it will take more time. Then you will leave that next bit as by seeing this answer, will they give next bit marks also for this? No, there is no chance. If they not mentioned, you can go thoroughly like AM to your opinion. Otherwise, if they mention anything, you just go for that only. After writing all, you can come back and again fulfill that all. It will good. It will look good. However, Srinivas said and don't leave that by writing precautions and procedures only. Just after writing that all, then you can come back and complete that if you have time. Otherwise, you may lose. If they not mentioned, if they ask directly heat about this activity, they can go for that from first to last. If they mention anything perfectly, you can go for that only. That's it. Okay. And the main concept you have to present. You have to present in the starting, like or middle, before the middle. But somebody what they do, they will write 10-15 lines, but we cannot get answer from that. So and so, so and so, so and so, so and so. Story total they will tell, and as in my hero heroine name they will tell in the end of the cinema. So we don't know. You don't do like that. Okay. So please try to not only read study reading, and you have to learn some techniques how to present that answer on the paper, how to put a answer on the paper and by drawings and all. Okay. So that is the concept, and let us continue our heat evolved during respiration and the photosynthesis versus respiration in tomorrow class, next class. Then lesson will be completed. Okay. Thank you, one and all.